Samir is a Palestinian man in his early 30s living in Italy. Like many men, he enjoys chatting to women online from the comfort of his own home. Until one day.
It happened when I was home alone. This girl added me on Facebook. She was really hot. That night, she starts chatting me on Skype. And after a while, she asks if I have a webcam. So I turned on my video and said, "Can I see you too?" Then she says she's getting horny. She lies on her bed and starts masturbating. And I start masturbating too. With a girl like this, you lose your head.
When the call was over, Samir got a message on Facebook.
It said, "Listen, I am a man, and I recorded you masturbating. I have a list of your family from Facebook." I'm like, I am in a deep shit. What if my mum sees this? I'd have thrown myself out the window from the shame.
Samir was given 1 week by the blackmailers to pay £1,700, otherwise the video would be released. Every year, thousands of men from Arab countries are caught in this type of sting. Many are reluctant to report it. Authorities from the United Arab Emirates estimate that more than 30,000 men from the oil-rich Gulf countries have been blackmail victims. I wanted to find out who were behind these scams. After weeks of investigation, I traced some of the cons back to this place. Wad Zem, a small rural town in Morocco, 2 hours drive out of Casablanca. I traveled to Wad Zem to try to find more about these scammers. It's a town with just one main street, but I counted more than 50 money transfer offices. Owners and workers in money transfer businesses here spoke to me off the record and told me they can recognize scam money transiting through their offices. One of them told me he handles transactions varying from 1,000 to 8,000 euros in a single day. I'm told the sex scammers keep a very low profile in the town. After many attempts, one of them agreed to speak to me anonymously.
نقطة الضعف ديال العرب راه هي الجنس. دونك كتمشي لهذيك نقطة الضعف ديالو كتستغلو. ونقطة الضعف الثانية اللي كتكون عنده هو تيكون مثلا مجوج ولا كيكون دونك كتبقى تهدو به.
This young man in his mid-20s wanted me to call him Omar.
الدول العربية اللي عندهم البترول هذوك أسهل الدول في الاستهداف. كما كنسميو حنا كنسميو مثلا يعني كل الخير. اسمحوا لي على هذه الكلمة هذه ولكن الواقع.
Omar and his fellow scammers know exactly who to target.
مثلا كاين اللي شي الناس كيكونوا يعني اصحاب دين يعني شي شيخ ولا شي حاجه يعني حامل القران وهذه يعني محاش يقدر يوقع في هذا الفخ اجي نجرب معاه كنجربش كيطيح في الفخ.
The scammers use pre-recorded videos of girls which they download from porn webcam sites.
كتطلب منه انه يعني يشلح ملابسه يعني ويدير حركات اللي كيكونوا اباحيين مخله ضروري كيبانوا غير الاعضاء ديالو كيبقى يدير في واحد الحركات وهذاك الشيء دونك هذاك الشيء كيبقى مصور في الفيديو دونك تصور داك الشيء مع الوجه ديالو باش كيبان الفيديو يعني عنده مصداقيه اكثر. ديك الساعه ملي كتسجل الفيديو هي فاش كندوزو اللوحو في اليوتيوب كدير لي مثلا بريفي ديك الساعه كيبدا التهديد. عندك ثلث ساعة غير هضرة، ثلث ساعة فيديو، ثلث ساعة تهديد.
كلهم بيدفعوا.
كلهم بيدفعوا.
The Moroccan authorities have confirmed that at least one victim has committed suicide. Omar told me he wants to stop scamming, but with few opportunities in his town, he feels he has no other option but to continue.
Well, it is quite a story, isn't it? With me now is Reda El Mawy from BBC Arabic, who put that report together. Reda, there are many extraordinary things about this piece, but let's just start on Omar, as he's called. Do you get any sense that he'd sooner not be doing this?
I mean, he told me several times during the interview that he really wants to stop scamming, and one of the main reasons is that the Moroccan authorities are beginning to be aware of this phenomenon, and they're trying to clamp down on this, but they need an evidence, and to have an evidence they need someone to complain, and people are ashamed to complain. So it's very difficult to find someone without a formal complaint and without something to prove that they've been victims.
That's key, isn't it? Because I mean, it's also extraordinary that this is so localised around this one town of Oued-Zem. I don't suppose it's only there, but that's like the sort of metropolis for this.
I mean, that's a question I asked myself, and they said that this town used to live on remittances from Italy, from Moroccans living there, and after the economic crisis in 2008, the money wasn't coming as before, so somehow they came up with this scheme, with this plan to make money. And also there is a higher rate of unemployment in that region compared to the rest of Morocco, which in the eyes of many that pushed them to do this. This place is known for its large deposit of phosphate. There is an industry of phosphate there, but they're saying we're not having enough employment.
Right, right. The other thing that struck me with Omar was saying, you know, I think these people are a bit stupid, basically. But this looks like a very well-oiled operation. They've got it absolutely down to a T.
I mean, you can say that he has a business model. He knows exactly when to target them, because he knows when males are at home by themselves on the internet. They know exactly the currency rate of these countries, and they look on Facebook how wealthy they are. They look at if they have a big car, a big house, if they travel abroad, and also they target people who have a lot to lose, whose reputation is at stake. For example, like he said, religious people or people who have their own, position in society. And in male-dominated societies, it's very difficult to lose face.
Yeah, and how much of it do you think is idle threat of saying pay up or else, and or do they actually do it? And do we have many examples of them actually having unveiled these people?
Some examples. People refused to pay, and they said, I don't have any money anyway, and they left Facebook completely, and they deserted social media altogether, but they're still living in fear. They don't know when they're going to be threatened again. But in many cases, people had to pay, and some people actually had their life destroyed because they didn't pay, because the videos were published.
And I suppose one of the hopes of what you're doing here is that the more you reveal this, the more people become aware of it. What one might hope that this is a business which does not have a future.
It's a worldwide business, not only Morocco. Some investigations and some reports, police reports, said they found that lots of these scams from Morocco, Ivory Coast, and the Philippines. So they said these are the three hubs, let's say, from which these scams are happening.
Just one last point, because you did manage to get Omar to speak to you. Were you surprised that anyone was actually prepared to lay out what they were doing and why?
I mean, he told me that he wanted to leave, and he said, I'm fed up of doing this job. But also there's an element between them, because I was admitted to the circus. They like to brag a little bit about their victims, about what they've done, because most of them are teenagers or maybe people in their early 20s. So there is an element of that as well.
Reda, it's an extraordinary story. Thanks very much indeed. And I should say, there's a lot more material actually on this, what we're calling the BBC's Shame Season, which is an interesting title, isn't it? But we've got a hub for you to comment or send your experiences. I've been having a look at it. It is an exceptional site, so do go and have a look at bbc.com/shame. Hashtag is shame online, or just use the search terms BBC